everyone, this is Ashley. I've been going through all of my albums and sharing my layouts with you. So this is all of the layouts I did from 2013. So maybe not that I made in 2013, but with photos from 2013 or 2013. So yeah, it was a pretty slow year. I've got lots to cover from this year still. So this first one is of there's just a contest entry that someone really sent into a magazine, and it was a cute thing that she did, so I wanted to remember it. Here's Ruby Sky, and the first time we put a little clip in her little baby here. So this background, I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's actually a piece of vellum that I heat embossed with gold embossing powder with a wood grain print, and then I cut it on the cameo to cut out the heart and laid it over this piece of floral pattern paper. And there's a little fabric frame that I put actually behind the photo and a little clip up there. Here's Ruby Sky eating green peas because she used to love green peas, frozen green peas. And this is Addie Blue reading a book to Ruby Sky, and I made the journaling and photo kind of look like a book, and then I did this little gold embossed tree with a gold glitter behind it. And there's lots of gold on this page because this was for a series I did on using gold in scrapbooking, and I kind of wish now I had put something behind the title, like cut out a banner or something. I probably won't. I have to go back and fix that, but I kind of wish I'd done something differently there. Alright, this is one of my current favorite pages. It's an Instagram shot of Ruby Sky, who is looking at a book and just all about the colors that she knew at the time. And I heat embossed in white with wood grain, again the same stamp I used on the other page, and used some chalk tape and cut out a banner. So it's kind of like a chalkboard effect, and then I used all these little puffy stickers and painted the journaling on with some pale pink watercolor. So this is Ruby Sky, who we call Bubbins, and the journaling is all about things that she does and did at the time. And this gold pattern over here is stamped with Stuart Superior glue ink, and then I applied gold foil over top. So I have a tutorial on YouTube on how to do this. I'll try to remember to link, but I don't have that many videos on my channel, so you can just go and look if you want to find it. And this was also for the gold series that I did. So this is the journaling. This is the Bubbins that chases the cat. This is the Bubbins that puts on her hat. This is the Bubbins who lines up her guys, who strolls her baby, who points at the skies and talks about moon and stars up high. This is the Bubbins who asks for shows by name and books and songs the same. She counts 8, 8, 9, 10, dumps out blocks and picks them up again. This is the Bubbins who spins and falls down, who wrinkles her eyebrow into a quizzical frown, waits for sisters to come home from school and dada from work, who puts on glasses and says, "Hey man, I cool." This is the Bubbins that we love best. So here is Ruby Sky climbing up onto our couch, and I cut this sun pattern out with my cameo and just did like some stamping and messy paint to layer behind it. And then these are, it's a Cocoa Daisy cloud stamp that I stamped twice to make a full cloud and heat embossed. And this is just all about her gigantic effort involved in climbing up onto the furniture, because she was just like 18 months old at the time, so it was kind of like a lot of work. Here is Ruby Sky and Addie Blue playing with blocks, and I whitewashed the whole background with some gesso first, and then heat embossed with some Cocoa Daisy speech bubble stamps. And I did a kind of like an ombre effect from the left to right side using white and then aqua colored embossing powder, and then I just sort of mixed them to create this gradient in between. I think I have a process video up for this one too if you want to check it out. She says "oh" because Ruby Sky went through this hilarious stage where she had this really funny way of saying "oh." And I made all these little paperclip embellishments that I just ripped apart to clip all over the page. So here is Ruby Sky again playing peekaboo, and she used to cover her eyes and say, "Where am I?" So she liked to play peekaboo, but she kind of didn't really fully get it. This was inspired by an image I saw on Pinterest. So I made this gold floral background and I added in all these floral patterns and the speech bubbles and added on some drippy, painty, messy stuff and brushed a little bit of gesso over top of the gold to mute it behind the title a little bit, and then I left the gold showing on the edges. You can see the difference in how reflective it is. I like this page. This one is called Cool, and sort of referenced in the journaling on this other page that I read, the Bubbins page, about how she would put on her glasses and say, "Hey man, cool." Or I taught her to say, "Hey girl, cool," so that's actually what it says, "Hey girl, cool." This was a Cocoa Daisy page, and I cut out this eyelet lace pattern out of vellum on my Cameo, and then used my free quilting foot on my sewing machine to quilt around, stitch around all of the cutouts. So I left it kind of a little more simple to show off the, so you can actually see the stitched vellum in the background. Another layout I showed in my last video of coffee from Paul, and this one I did all sorts of, I sort of made this like little house happy coffee cloud kind of image by heat embossing gold metallic and gold glitter embossing powders, and then added some misted book pages on this side to sort of block off the photo a little bit. This one is another from my neon and pastel stage about Ruby Sky waiting for Summerlee to come home from school, and it says laps and snacks shared, and she will tell her all about numbers and letters and all about her day. So the journaling is kind of like purposefully kind of vague, because like Ruby Sky will tell Summerlee about letters and numbers, but then Summerlee will also tell Ruby Sky all about those things, and so not really supposed to know exactly who is telling who what, because they sort of talk about it together. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. These are just some little sweet little things. Addie Blue one day bought some flowers for me when she was out, I don't know, on a walk or something, and someone was selling some flowers, so she bought them and included this little note. So it's just kind of a simple page with some banner and some heat embossing at the bottom. This is some treats that the girls gave me on Mother's Day this year, and I wrote, "I am the luckiest." I am the luckiest mama to have such thoughtful girls. And lots of layering, and I used this Sunfile Love Shine cutout that I sell in my Etsy store on the background here, and tucked in some little scraps of pattern paper and some gold foil bits, and made a glitter banner for the background. This is one of my all-time favorite pages. It is of Ruby Sky lying down on my lap, and she does not do that often, so that's what the journaling is about. Quiet and rare, briefly lasting, quickly passing, she climbs on top, cuddle mem mem, up, announcing, downward bouncing, she will plop wherever, roll, grab her feet, and be off again. So I used some vintage ribbon on this one, and I made this kind of gigantic flare button thingy for the title, and the background is misted with a Jenny Bolin stencil, and I used Jenny Bolin feather and this cute little bow embellishment and a silver ribbon on the background and a little number 2 down there because she was 2. Or 2 of us, I guess. And then the last page that I did from last year was of the big girls and Ruby Sky. Paul had gone to pick the big girls up from their weekend at Girl Guide camp, and they stopped on the way home. I went on this little adventure. So I made all these little bits and pieces from my Cocoa Daisy kit that month to kind of look like they'd been away at camp. So these might be little bits and pieces like postcards and a little badge and little tabs on a map and maybe a little button and stuff that they might have picked up at camp or on their adventure or something like that. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Bye!